And there we go again. So, of course there's nobody there yet. Audio this, audio that. Very nice. A big, beautiful whatever. All right. Where were we? What we need to do I'm not going to go there first. Let's go directly to the steamery. Ah, interesting. I had done a Steam broadcast yesterday. Well, okay. That's a technical error in terms. Didn't really do anything. I had streamed on Steam before, and it did not work. So, it's still offering me to stop the broadcast. Very interesting. No idea. No idea. So we're going to sign out. One thing we need to, we need to, I need Lagerda. One thing we need to do with our lives in PAX DEI is get organized. Oh, I'm not talking about you guys. You can do what you want. Which one is it? I always have to look it up. If you ever saw all the junk. Actually, no, I don't have like a, I'm gonna say Osmond Gold surrounding. I only have one can of soda. No food products. Pre or post Uber. For those of you who do not use the Arcadia, oh, here's something important. Just in case you have not put this in your system, under launch options, GPU crash debugging. GPU crash debugging. Very important. We're going to see while I'm doing this. If y'all behaving. I gotta rework. The other things, yeah, I don't get any play, man. Starting out a new channel again is very interesting. Good, we're live. How wonderful. It's very interesting. I do have everything on, right? Maybe. We're gonna be here a bit. See who we catch. Yeah, what about losing your channel? I opened OBS, attempted to launch a stream just like you see me do here today. It said, no way, Jose. I was like, I could barely read the print, but I could read it enough in the blue, what they highlighted in blue. I had messed up with policies. I went to the existing streams in OBS, and there were 4 fortnights done at 2 a.m. And so, you know, the appeal process, so somebody got in my account, threw up what they called Fortnite. There's no evidence of what they broadcast. There's no evidence of anything. I at first thought YouTube must have found something inappropriate with me. They do not cite my videos in the issue. So Does it bother me? Well, no. I've erased all those videos. And so YouTube erasing them isn't really much. Would people have watched them and enjoyed them for years? Man, I hope not. Why? Because you can see it's just so incredible. It's fun starting out. I can imagine anybody starting out on YouTube going, well, why is nobody watching me? Who cares? Don't do it because people are watching you. Do it because you enjoy doing it. I had, before this, I can go back to a picture. I had over 300 videos, about, average of 40 to 60 gigs a pop. Here we go. Ooh, wow, an exact number. Lagerta's at 100 hours. Bravo, Lagerta. I kicked her off during Free Week. The last peak. The last peak. Mainframe saw. Which, it's unfortunate. When it comes down to many things, I enjoy PAX DEI. So we're going to pop off the window here until others show up. If you would like to join me, right up in the corner there is the name of my server. Direct messaging me, looking at my email, stuff like that. But getting to me, I will be logging in. Find your friends on Discord. Now, here's something I did mean to do. Yeah, why do you keep on unsubscribing from Discord? I've got to get my Discord straight. So, would you like to get updates sooner? Yeah, you go to new game contents available first on the mothership in Arcadia, PTS, public test server. If you start in Dolavan, you could have PTSD. More info here, and you can do that. It's very simple. I just did it by swapping which version I'm playing. Then you just make a character. If you have trouble making a character, that's something. Here I am. It's the only account I have. They have you keep scrolling. I have been given a 0 on this every time. We'll see if Lagerta's account, Discord sign-in error. But look, I have Catnap over here playing on the screen. Isn't that funny? So there you go. Someday I'll figure out the mysteries of Discord. Now, if we would like to, you didn't see any, did I get any expirations here? Mail, settings, let's go to account. Boom, boom, boom. We are sorry, invalid login token, blah, blah, blah. I might not have any pre-saved on here. Try another way. No, we're actually going to go back to you. A lot of juggling when you get around. Everybody who has a PC is most likely a very good juggler. I don't know how well a juggler you become on your phone. You have tabs that you have open, so you can do this, that, or the other thing. Sign me in. There you go. So I'm all signed in. And there we are. Now, let's just widen her up because we have a little bit of business to do, so to speak. You can see R46 patch notes. R46 patch notes. Patch R46 is now live. Might be important. Are you gonna read all that? Osgood, I'll send you a game key. Anybody else who would like, this is going to be a different price on Steam, I believe. But anybody would like a Steam key, I have 6 left that are creeping toward expiration. I'll tell you that. Just in case. So, which one was first? Well, if you see it all, it puts it in order. And there you go. So being live, and then running a patch, and then running a patch, a bit of hurdling. A lot of things happened. Let's just check out the 11th first. It is a little bit dated, being the 21st, but did you catch it? There were a couple things, and I just wanted to tell you this. While this update may not be massive in terms of visible new, get out of there, you jerk, I don't need you, new content, visible lack, it may not be massive in terms of visible new content. The amount of work behind it has been significant. I believe this could really be wrapped up under what they call Blueprint, you know, where they put their programming in blocks, and they've moved it to C++. That's what I had read. There was a Spire or a Peter note. We can go back and look for that. At the same time, we've also been working in parallel on broader gameplay improvements, and we'll be sharing more about these soon. One final note before diving into the details, we'll now use an internal naming convention for small patches. As such, this update is called R46. So, what I was looking for is the time. They talk about time. One of the main complaints people are having is how much time. They're now preloading. If you heard Eltari and if you listened to me before, you can't look back now. Actually, I'm going to be having a few old videos up that were just EPIOUSIOS before the oblivion, the oblivion of D4Play. So, one of the big deals there is that you will see previous loading screens. If you just happen to watch them, you'll be like, wow, this is taking a while. Preloading shaders, instead of loading them while you're in world, has saved a lot of problems. It's actually very typical. Trying to get you into the world and having you see it pump around, you know, it might be cool for some people, but it's a performance issue. Here we have the upscalers upgrade. Just in case you're not familiar with a few things inside your GPU, or exactly what's going left and what's going right whenever he's talking about everything, the update includes the latest AMD FSR 4. This was back on the 11th. I run FSR 4 and an AMD complementary combination of components. So it runs very well the moment they bumped it up. Literally beyond a few changes they made as far as how their PAX DEI was being delivered. I watch for cats. So with frame generation, as well as the NVIDIA version, which is the DLSS Super Sport 4.5. Super resolution and frame generation with reflex. You will want to check your GPU to see if it supports that under NVIDIA. AMD's GPUs have an RT designation. NVIDIA also has GPUs with an RT, RTX, or something like that. For a moment they were advertising that. That was how you told if you had ray tracing or not. I'm not even sure if ray tracing isn't just becoming so basic, that will not be part of the naming convention. So Unreal 5.6 and the latest FSR and DLS play along much better than earlier versions. So both image quality and performance are improved from before. If you saw my video previously, or you're just tuning in to me today, which of course I'm grateful, it's very nice to spend time with you and go over this sort of thing that I check out, so I make sure I can get what I have in my narrative straight. And I hadn't looked back. And after listening to Altari, I was like, wow, things seem to be agreeing much more than I thought they were. I like to speculate a little and then be able to correct, or compliment. I am not a programmer. I'm just a person who loves games. Anyway, PAX DEI. Lumen lighting runs faster. We were just talking about ray tracing, but this is lumens and atmospherics. So the global illumination and reflection systems that give PAX DEI its realistic lighting have been heavily optimized for hardware ray tracing. Epic specifically targeted consistent 60 frames per second on current generation hardware, freeing up CPU budget for gameplay. Right, good stuff. I don't have the GPU thing going today, but you will see me use that and compare. I can speak to it about it because it's very common performance, though things have gotten better. Shadow rendering is cheaper. So virtual shadow maps now use smarter culling and caching, reducing GPU cost, especially in dense scenes with many buildings and trees. Now you'll have a cache. If you've been guided to dump your RAM cache, okay, maybe you have other stuff on there, right? Depending how large it is. And you can do this through apps or other things. It's rather clever. And then it would refill with PAX DEI. And then you would notice, not theoretically, but ideally, you would notice faster loading the next time you went through those areas you'd been through before. Reducing GPU costs, especially in dense scenes, right? When you get into cities and stuff like that. The inside out thing is interesting. Nanite geometry, going in a building and going out. Nanite geometry is more efficient, right? The system that renders millions of polygons for our world terrain and architecture now has better instance culling and draw distance management, reducing per frame cost in crowded areas. Once again, one of the biggest things about PAX DEI is the structures, is the building, is parties of people. Dungeons are very limited areas. They don't have any animation going on outside of them. They just have the animation that you see before you. So, that's not generating a whole world. But yet, it comes in effect with all these also. Shadow rendering in the dark dungeons, and the lumen lighting. We do not have baked-in lighting. You'll notice there's just no baked-in lighting. And most, texture maps, texture atlases, if you ever look up textures and you're like, well, I found a texture file, just like someone, told me I could. But you'll just see tons of little tiny bits of patchwork on it. It's a texture atlas. And that it saves. Things are in a position on there. They use positions of that texture. So, renderer parallelization. More rendering work is now distributed across CPU cores. And I've noticed a higher use of my CPU, up 10% to like 20 something, which is very low. I also have the second screen plugged into the CPU, HDMI. Reducing single thread bottlenecks that could cause frame dips. I saw that in my graphics, right? Single thread bottlenecks. Some systems bottleneck anyway, and so people have had problems with that over time. Less hitching and pop-in. Faster world streaming. So here's why is it taking time? or the explanation of other things. I just started reading the sentence going, well, it doesn't really start out that way. Entering new areas is smoother. Physics, terrain, and geometry registration can now run asynchronously at the same time, preventing spikes when loading new world cells. Well, asynchronous, synchronous, not at the same time. Reduced memory spikes. I'm just making sure I read that right. Parallel processing and caching for texture mesh streaming. Reduce visual pop-in as you move through the world, right? Faster world streaming. Entering new areas is smoother. Physics, terrain, and geometry registration can now run asynchronously. You're seeing it load up as your load-up screen. You'll see those little shader things. Sometimes many. Preventing spikes when loading new world cells. Reduce memory spikes. GPU memory management for the nanite streaming pool and virtual textures is now more graceful, avoiding sudden stalls from buffer resizes. Buffer resizes, that's an interesting term. For a minute it sounded like they're just only talking about textures, but it's like virtual textures. That's interesting because they swap from different texture sizes, like 720, 1080, 740, 1080, 12, whatever. Anyway, better stability. Networking fixes, numerous crash fixes and improvements to the replication system reduce disconnects and desync, particularly around object destruction, ownership transfers, and server transitions. Have you noticed this is where you have issues? Some people have crashed from menus in game, which I'm like, ooh, it's been a while. Physics solver improvements, right? Multi-threaded collision detection, partial sleeping islands, and improved scene queries make the physics simulation more robust under heavy load, large battles, many players on structures, like we've made. If everybody gathers at the Golden City, I'm not in that clan, but there's a very large gathering. As they come and go from dungeons, that's heavy duty stuff, having people and having everybody else coming through. So, navigation system fixes, we have teleporting NPCs, and we have other things going on. In my video with Twist, which I'll be putting back up, you're watching, if you watch that, I thank you, but if you have a chance to look back once it's back up, a big deal there was Twist could hide behind a tree and the guy would just shoot arrows at the tree. Wouldn't correct that. So can that happen, right? Nav mesh generation and streaming are more stable, reducing cases where NPCs could path incorrectly after world streaming events. That's interesting. I believe Eltari said they were attacking trees, which is kind of a funny story. I've seen soldiers with so little sleep, they were putting quarters in trees to try to get a soda. Memory leak fixes. Multiple memory leaks and rendering, hair, groom, streaming, and sparse volume textures. You saw Mordecai lose his head, but not his hair. Cat. If you didn't see that, that'll be coming back up too. Some of these things I might highlight, might make shorts out of, but these things become history very quick, as you will find with mainframe. One of the major points to even bother going over this, because Nasaman and Eltari have already done this. I waited till Eltari's PAX Friday came out. I'm glad to, I know there's people with maps of dungeons, they have images. I think you can find them, these people who have them in the Discord itself. So, or if someone does a tour, or you walk, now on a stream, do you exactly know what dungeon you're looking at? So if Eltari decides, which he should, well, that's not a judge. I would think it would be great if he did, because if Eltari put it like, this is this dungeon, then you wouldn't know what dungeon you're in. While watching the streams, you might not. Sharper reflections. A new reflection denoiser produces cleaner, less ghosted reflections in water, metal, and polished surfaces. You'll see that. You'll see that. You know how pixelated and dusty it gets. Better global illumination, right? Lumen's temporal accumulation is more stable, reducing flickering on foliage. And fine geometry. Surface cache updates are now distance-driven, keeping nearby lighting more accurate. A little bit of flame on issue. We'll see if that's still going. Improved temporal super resolution. There, TSR. I was just asking for this. It was already here. Temporal super resolution. Thin geometry like foliage and hair is more stable, with less patch flickering. Banding artifacts from precision limits have been addressed. Nice. Better ambient occlusion. We were talking about that. You know, if you caught that or you're catching it now, that PAX DEI runs with a constant ambient occlusion. Back in Second Life, we can have that setting because not everything's in focus all the time, and that's often what's wearing out your eyes when you're playing, you know, online, you know, presentations. You know, when it comes to, you know, video graphics, gaming resolutions. So the short-range AO, area of operations, now runs at half resolution. Ambient occlusion now runs at half ambient occlusion. There it is right there. Runs at half resolution with a denoiser, making it twice as fast while maintaining quality. And you'll just notice that. Lower repetition latency. Small objects replicate faster with better bandwidth utilization, benefiting from interactions in populated areas. Replicate faster, bandwidth utilization. You get the picture. More robust object life cycle. That's interesting. My object life cycle is so robust. Fixes around asynchronous destruction, dormancy, flushing, and component replication. I can read you this thread on X of a gent who talks all about water in the last thing, but he talks a lot about graphics. I was looking for old Star Wars, the old arcade game footage. So, component replication reduce edge case desyncs that could affect inventory or building state. Dormancy flushing, component replication. Okay, edge case desyncs that's interesting, because when you destroy something, when you flush out what's dormant, and the component replication reduce edge case. Now, edge case desyncs that could affect inventory or building state. Oh, they're throwing coding stuff. I'm going to have to Google this one just to get the whole thing. I'm not going to act like I can, ooh, wow, I'm a coder, look at me. Hey, if you get all this down, good for you. Resimulation is optimized, and render interpolation for network physics is smoother. Networked physics, interpolation, rendering. Exciting, exciting. These improvements work automatically. No settings changes are needed on your end. If you previously adjusted graphics settings to improve performance, I read ahead. This may be a good time to try raising them again. As you've seen, we keep it on epic around here. I'm not going to go into my stuff. You have of course, the spring set here. We'll be checking that. The skybox is star-filled. We know that. So let's rock and roll. We're in reads. On the SIF server. Role-playing. Why are you on different servers? Well, okay. There's Selene and SIF, both North American servers. I do not have any avatars. I can't. Is it Banger? I forgot what the... How you doing, kid? This place is gorgeous. It is. It is gorgeous. This is dusk. Must be dusk. Is it dusk? Is it dusk? You, Lagerda, have a yob. We have renewals. We have zeros. We're going to be buying things. It's like, well, hold it. You're not going to renew that. Nope. Oh, did you see that picture there? That's interesting. So I'm not going to renew this. It's all going to go to inventory. Right? And these guys. This is with Grace. And I'll be buying some tokens later. I take care of that off. If you ever want to know about buying tokens, I don't know, do it. Come on, you know how to spend money. So, empty slot, available for 3 days. What I'm doing though is I'm picking up these. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. But I don't care. Hold up, do I have these? Clan. Did Morty not share his? No, it's shared. It's shared. Good. Where's the square? What we've got here, sorry about your bed. Or my bed. Actually, it's Morty. Is the void. We got a void. So, we're going to cure this problem. And then, once I understand how many plots I'm going to need, because that's what I'm doing. I'm narrowing all the plots I'm going to use down. I've been using up plots that I had on the 12-month timer. And that's a big deal. The plots on the 12-month timer, shifting around, were given to me with each account that I had in the founder status. You would have it with less. If you had a subscription for 4, 3, 2. You're like, well, in 3 days you got to do something. Yeah, I got to do plenty of things. It doesn't matter. I'm actually often wondering, even if I'm going to stay here, if I want to wrap it up smaller. I've done a lot of what I thought would help promote PAX Day, for better or worse. I mean, I do it my way. Can't do it yours. Now, can we get rid of this void? As you can see, it is gone. Now, the void is gone. So, big deal is, how do we not have it again? How do we avoid it? Can we? That's what we're going to do right now. Thanks for joining me. This is EPIOUSIOS. EPIOUSIOS is the Greek word for your daily bread. And give us this day our daily bread. Or, as John the Baptist put it, give us day by day. You see that void over there? Can I transfer some void? Can I have it go somewhere else? Although that's not exactly convenient, it's doable. How do you avoid voids? Well, if you have control over where you're setting down plots, you can avoid voids. I'm going to turn this little side thing off until someone shows up. I have a couple friends who join me on Discord, but they of course have no idea when I'm going to be here. No idea. Minimize myself and drop this again. So, when it comes down to it, one thing I really do need to and I'm grateful to Flow about is a hand in it Flow. Flow quickly discovered on Reddit that the OBS I'm using has some issues, which, well, that didn't surprise me. It never would, because if it's free, it's gonna have issues. If you pay money, maybe someday they won't have that issue, but you would have to pay a lot of money. I mean, you already know how much video games cost. Boom. Next to isolate. I don't mind complimenting my neighbors. Having neighbors, I mean, that's great, isn't it? What's wrong with having neighbors? Have a game where you have neighbors, where you are responsible for what's next to you, what you do. See, you can see what's happening out there. We are losing ground. Right? It's so sad. Big deal. You know, when it comes to getting what I want out of this, being more out on the water. No, fine. I'd rather have these things fit, and we're still gonna find out if they do. Now, over the days, I'm going to be discovering exactly, how things are set up, how many. I don't want it to connect like that. Oh, it's going to be terrible. Get out farther, look around. Gotta love the sounds. PAX DEI is very much about sounds. Now, it hugged the back of the tower back there. Okay, so I did move the behind. How's it fitting over here with you? Oh, good. That's actually probably not going to be an issue. Oh, okay. I understand. Or I think I did. At least I think I disagree. Let me take you down, 'cause we're going to... Oh, it did. I'm trying to draw those lines together that are up in the corners. Why? Because it seems to have been beneficial in the past. It's probably as far as you can extend. There's a void. Let's get rid of the void. That's the issue. Let's I stretched it and then there. No void. Two. What do you want, music? Shoreline. Now the other plots, and this plot, I'm most likely just going to get rid. We're going to see if we have a void show up quick. Lay this down. 3 days. No, I don't want that one. This one. End of the dock. You have to be able to find a piece of land to connect to. Sometimes it's a little tricky. Because you always connect it out here. No. You can see they limit us on how far we can go out into the water. Well, that will go farther. This will not. And then it becomes how much space it takes up while it's there. Will I have to disconnect these and lay them again? Could be. Because last time I connected isolate side last. You see me snap in a void there. Right. Now, why am I putting you guys through this? Just in case you have a single plot. And you're saying, what is it to move it? You know, how careful should I be? Be careful of your neighbors, though in the past you could alter by 1,000, maybe 2,000. How is it an inch to 1,000th in game? Is that the ratio? So we're gonna put this down. There. See how it works? It's all crazy now. I don't know if I want to have to connect to nooks. I don't think it affects me. I mean, in that way, I want a little bit more or less. If you crowd your neighbor, what if they wanted to move their plots? You know, you said, yeah, I could put one right there. You know, well, I could for a moment. Now, originally, and if you read everything Mainframe said, which is not, you know, that would benefit you, by the way. I'm finding stones on the ground down there. That's what opens and closes the ability to place these. Now, am I going to have enough room on the other side? We'll see. As long as I don't get a void. I'll just put pier, because I'm not next to nooks anymore. Pier? Is it pier? That'll be it. Now we get another. What happens to your goods while you're placing plots? Well, that's another curiosity, isn't it? There's a void. See how it is? Blank, 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 blank. Then I meant to do that 3-day ones. Well, it doesn't really matter. Well, it could. It could matter. Because they all expired at once here. That's why I say it could. Now let's do it, I guess, where we do incorporate a little bit of nooks, which wasn't exactly an ideal. But I'm finding I need more room. Oops. Sorry, Lagerda. Now, as you saw in the notes, going through menus, in and out of inventories, doing things like this, can lead to issues. You know, little this, little that. I didn't want to muck with nooks, but I need the space. How cool. You see what I mean? How there's one object sticking through there? Or the rack? Things I used to be very concerned about, and still am. It's only been so long since they mattered or not. Get back over here. Come on, we're gonna hop off. whether there's a layer or a line down here. I try to get it at different angles. I feel kind of invasive. Excellent notes. It's catchy. Of course, we're stuck with this. As long as we don't have an issue. Yep, there's a void. It's still tiny, must admit. What makes me curious? At least the pier I have low enough for the water. Opening menus while running isn't something I exactly recommend, but I do it out of habit. And I think the colors are kind of difficult. You get used to it. I mean, as opposed to what? I mean, that's all I have to say really. As opposed to what color? There have been many issues in the past where I have to lay a plot and then put objects in the water and then pick up the plot in order to get things to play. Yes, I'm losing shoreline, but I don't care. It's better than having the void. Well, why don't you just build around it? Well, we'll see. We might change the plots later. Could happen. It's just unfortunate. We'll see. And we could, does this take a while sometimes? Yeah, it does. If you can at all. You can see the void hitting over there. Well, you've messed it all up because you pick things up. Yeah, you could feel that way. That's right, you could feel that way. You're wasting all your time doing it. Setting my plots. No, not a waste of time. I have been doing this for a couple of days. But there's no evidence. All that footage is gone. Actually, no, I have it. The last of EPIOUSIOS I have. It's fine. Alright, let's look at it again. You won't be able to do it. Maybe. Then what? We're still going. Trying to find your sweet spot, honey. Music. I'm trying to do this. Now I'm certain, I'm really certain there are people who have figured out how to do this very well. Looks better every time I do it. But there's that section. There's a void over here. Let's see. Why aren't the plots more flexible? Can't answer that. Why don't they gel? See what it's gonna be? It's terrible. Oh well, might have to give up on this. Give up. Right, go back to Morty, come into this, raise all the plots, and do it again. If you did this many times before, it would crash. It would crash. Well, for me. I can only speak for myself. Anytime you listen to me, I am speaking for myself, unless I'm actually quoting another person I would be speaking for. Oy. This would give me so much more room. I might have to knock the tower around. I mean, if I really just ignored the issue, but it's not going to let me put nooks into place. If I ignore the issue. How long do things take to decay? A while. And it's not decay like Myth of Empires or Conan, because these walls don't have hit points. For those two. Now, I'm not going to get a little bit of void, am I? Definitely. Unsnaps. Unsnaps. I'm wondering about something I've done before. No, that just leaves too much of a void. Hi, mosquito. Yes, the mosquitoes. Do I not have a racket in here? I'm gonna have to grab you by hand. Oh, Chuck Norris. I won't catch him soon enough. They'll try to fly in my eyes. Mosquitoes are amazing little machines. You know, they are. They're absolutely amazing little machines. Just little sensory organs that just say, oh, there's carbon dioxide or monoxide here. There's a breeze. I can feel something. But they don't think. They don't think I should go here or I should go there. They are quite a little machine. So are all insects when you consider them, which you should. Consider insects? I know. If without insects, our world would cease to operate. Well, we'll add nano creatures. Right. Right. Those will be a cancer. Guaranteed a cancer. Oh, I'm losing so much shoreline. That's it. I don't know if I want to lose this much shoreline. Let's switch to Morty. We're going to release this plot. Oops, not you. I'm going to release you. keep picking the 21, or does it pick it? That's something I'm looking at also. Let's say I had one plot left. Everything is pulled. Let's say I had one plot left. And it was about to expire at the 12 months. And I bought 10 more. Would you know which one's about to expire? And you put it on auto renew. Did you use it or no? It must. I do wonder what they're up to. They're keeping their plots. But it is pretty weird with those voids. You can see the problem. I'll remind you, there's a void, the sun's flashing up. Because it's 8:10 here in Alaska. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Music. Did I let music? I think I let music out. Alright, let's go to Morty, where everything disappears. Risky. I do hope you're enjoying your Sunday morning. I do pray things are going well for you. Beep, beep, beep. We do have a very interesting weather going on here. We're going to talk about the weather. Right, not sure how it is by you. Oz had tornado warnings just last week. And Mississippi Valley Basin, or excuse me, the states along the river there. I don't think Flo will be dealing with any. Excuse me. I don't think Flo will be dealing with any hurricanes, thanks to La Nina. That's what all the meteorologists want to say. That's for sure. Is that true? Well, maybe. Maybe. That'd be great if it was. More to Twy here. Myth of Empires fame. Empyrean. 413 hours in PAX Day. We have Caudil here. Anthem. He's sharing his screenshots. He has some very nice stuff. Nice images. Building and structure. Not to say neat. Right, anyway. Very nice. Music, I'm coming. I really am. Let me help music out. You. Switching in and out of accounts is very easy. In the past, it could lead to some issues. People were reporting from mainframe, maybe ghosting of your previous avatar. Might have been a thing. Might have been a thing. Morty, how you doing, mate? See how everything snaps in? The whole shading quality rips over the place. Most of that was happening after, and this is just kicking in during. Asymmetrical. Now these, of course, have more. Now, before I did not have these plots set up as they were. And nobody's changed around me. Well, Nook, I believe, dropped a plot, but I believe it was on the other side of the structure. Alright. Let's work on the issue. I thank you for joining me. It's PAX DEI is quite a pleasure to me. The fact that Mainframe has made this, stuck with it, under withering fire. I mean, stupid levels of you're never gonna make it. But yet, in Steam chat, an individual was proclaiming that this would not work ever. I want to do something really, no, maybe not. Actually, I mean, what do we do with it? You know, nothing behind us, right? Nothing going on. That's just the shop and the tower back there. Right now, you can come and start taking it all apart. In verse 1, I had a player do that. I lifted a plot and was adjusting it, and I heard this noise. And they're destroying my building behind me. I mean, if they saw me, well, that might be a little bit... Actually, that's psychopathic. That's psychopathic. If you could see a person and go, oh, well, here, I should just take this now before I don't have that opportunity anymore. And that's as far as they thought. I asked them, like, what are you doing? I just picked up my plot to move it. They're like, oh, and they grabbed some more shit and ran away. It's like, that's amazing. So you have all sorts. It's not like PAX DEI is just full of peaceful, nice people. I would never tell you that. Now, to play PAX DEI, you probably got to be a little bit more intelligent than your average gamer. Yeah, I just said that out loud. And it's the truth. It's totally the truth. There's that spot there. Can I get it better for me to see them? I mean, there's people who want to hunt you down and kill you, so, you know, don't get too fancy about your ideas. In fact, it's one of the attractions. There's people who want you to hunt them down and kill them. That's what they want. They want that. That's a thrill for them. It is. I've read it in Discord. It's like, okay. And what's the old rule? Don't hurt anybody unless, of course, they ask you to. Hit me. Yeah, I never did that for anybody. I've never given in to that request. Yes, it is pretty much the same direction and angle. Why? Because, over time, I've seen that these act differently, and they've changed the shoreline, so it certainly acts differently. And it's about the same spot on the ground, and it's getting out there. What am I doing? I'm being ricky-ticky. Very ricky-ticky. I want to get all the shoreline I can, and then we're going to see about avoiding the void again, in a different way. You might have to move stuff, break it down, do something different, or just forget about it. So that post there, making bridges, getting across waterways, putting plots at the bottom of a body of water, that makes things very interesting in PAX DEI. You are finding just marks. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it. Yeah, it's the same thing. Nearly, a little bit more, a little bit more. This is important. Okay, thank you for being patient. This is why it's important. The walkabout. Could I do better? Probably. Or no. Walking is a better way to adjust plot dynamics. See how it takes a minute to go back? It's all just a game. Nice. And no, Nook is not going to have to look at this forever. I'm not going to have, well, it depends on where it is. I guess I might just forget about it if it's not irritating. That might be more the case. Now to just go for the shoreline, looks like this is what it's going to be today. Right, what a pine. Totally gonna lose that. Okay, so where's the dot? There and there. Best to jump up on a beam that has a cross beam. Yes, you get drowned in ridiculous amounts of water in PAX Day. It's really just kind of bogus. Games are games. There you go. How'd I go better from here on out? I'm gonna laugh these all click down by one day before I get done. It's always an immediate difference. That's why it becomes slightly addictive to see. Did you see? Dr. and me? Brain candy fans. Still drop that. How'd you get it out there before? I know. Oh, really? Things can be positioned in the water, like, perfectly. That is not. Good job, man. Singer on the spot. What's Iceland's gonna be like? You can get trapped on things pretty quick too still. Just watch your guys. Then your hit points go down. Just in case you haven't played PAX Day and you're wondering. I see every time I'm on Discord, which I will be later. Kinda. I mean, really the need for it's over. We're just going to have basic patch releases now. There might be some discussion on things, but it's just going to be people asking for ponies. And that's basically all that's going to happen from now on. Do you see that? Do you see? How far it grabs out. It's absolutely ridiculous. The difference is, it's still losing that last bar out there. Interesting. That was such a good jump. Now, I guess some would wish for a little editor mode or something when it came to laying plots. I could see that. I could see a desire for that. Being able to hover over things instead of having to do it as an avatar, which, you know, unless you're just on flat land, I'm just going to get rid of those. That's what it's come to. It's come down to this. No, I tell you, if you used to check me out as D for play, I'm grateful you found me again. And others will find me over time. Quite frankly, I had a lot of subscribers who did not watch anymore. Unfortunately, my subscribership had become irrelevant. And that's too bad. That's not something you want. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Where would the world be without us? Yeah, you know, if you're a woman, you know, and good morning, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to you. Oops, let's not do it in weird caps. For the one day. You know, we don't have a Father's Month. We have a Women's Month. There you go. So, Father's Day, a reason to sell cards. Everybody else has a month. We didn't used to have months. All of a sudden, everybody had to have a month. Oh, I used to do Black History Month. I showed up, and my limo has been moved. You tow it, animal? Yeah, I did. We have a limo on the side of the highway here. It's blankety blank blank. It's a navigator. No, do not mention smoking crack on a Sunday. I mean, who actually smokes crack? Does anybody out there actually smoke crack? I mean, or is it just no. I remember. Not me. I've never done anything hard except beat the shit out of somebody. That's you know, I don't do heavy drugs. I mean, I've gone to the bottom of a bottle of tequila. Someone else ate the worm. She was a nice girl. And, you know, dude started a fight with me, and I stopped the fight by punching out his front windshield from the outside. He didn't want to fight anymore after that. Go figure, huh? It was a Honda. If you were in AL Gators, that would be outside Baltimore, and you were in a fight with somebody where you got the windshield of your Honda shattered, that was me. No, it didn't. That wasn't a tequila night either. That was a Long Island iced tea night. I just remembered. I think I was one of the, well, not, I don't think. The bartenders would claim I'm the only guy that would serve 3 Long Island iced teas. They thought it was very amusing. So did I. No, I don't drink now. Or, well, I do, but I have other things to do. See, it's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it, Morty. So we need isolates in us. It starts to do some weird stuff like that, which isn't gonna help. I could do this all day. And that's what this stream will be. The stream. I was in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. Except the void. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world. And we can but rely on each other. I'm not going to sing their part. Well, you know. I don't think Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers ever had anything more than a song together. And that's probably a good thing for Dolly. I was raised on the dairy. Anybody remember that? This is Kenny Rogers' Jackass. I feel sorry he went down like that. I missed all the news. I think I was in the army while he was making a spectacle of himself. Now I get to watch David Lee Roth. I was in denial about David. I was in serious denial. I was like, no. I mean, come on, no. Really? No. Come on. Really? Really? No. It couldn't be. I mean, really? No. Couldn't be. I don't want to mess with Nook's place badly. Gotta be able to see this. Am I getting... Yes, yes, it's always this way. Well, it's not like Sims where the whole parking lot disappears and you just get to draw a little, you know, a little square and go, oh, I want my gazebo here, and I want my little... You know, Second Life, you get to... Well, you're choosing square meters each. And lines, and... It's madness. Man, how's that joining over there? That's what I'm concerned about. That's where the void begins. Can I avoid the void? Avoid the void. Aruba. Walking plot lines can be a lot more successful than any other method. Yes, I'm compacting it. Why? Because that line out there, it's going to be a void. You might think, but you're giving up room. You didn't have it anyway. Cookie may went back out. Mm-hmm. I know, it's boring, kid. Like, why do you even do this? You don't get to eat the grass. That's what the cats think. You don't get to eat the grass. Let's see if we can not have a void. Of course, wet places. It's right in front of a tree. There you go. And there's a void. Who is there? No, I won't be able to collect the isolates like this. Which is fine. It's not a deal breaker. One of the most useful tools you have is the magic drone. And there's the void. Is that as small as we can get it? Wowzer. Nearly got back out to the same line again. Let me like. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Gonna lose that little part. Let's just see where it goes. No, it doesn't give me any love. Can't compact it any further. And there's nothing else to be done. I'm connecting to the plot there. ¿Hay alguien que habla español? Atena. Atenina? No. I do not habla español. Not enough though. Enough to be polite to know that they're trying to say such a thing. Now, if somebody answers, you're on the American server, don't do it. Don't answer, no, you're on the American server. Don't do it. Don't be an ignoramus. I mean, really, please. If they're trying to change this Latin, Latino, Latina, I know that's always been just an eraser word the liberals use, you know, instead of saying, hey, I'm Portuguese. Because being from Latin America, check that out. I mean, really, talk about a homogenizing of everybody there. They're saying, well, you're all the same. You're all the same. Yeah, if I put one there, it's going to monkey me good. Ain't it? It's going to monkey me real good. Really. Well. Not too far now. Because it was doing it. It's funny, you think it would snap, but it all depends on where it is on the water. Can I get less? Oh, this is why we have peaceful music in PAX Day. If you can hear it. I don't keep it up that much. Because it's just Kate Bush asking to deal with her partner. Well, not God. It's not making it. Exchanging, swapping places with God. No. A lot of people think that, but they're not. She's talking about you and me. And if she only could make a deal with God and get him to swap their places. Though I'd hear people say it the other way. They're like, yeah, Kate Bush isn't exactly, I'm not sure, is she Jewish? Is she, Christian? Is she, whatever, I don't know. I don't see how that matters. You say what you say. Well, I'll tell you, this is no damn fun. It isn't. Could I do anything to solve the issue? I guess I could. Let's look at it a different way. Oh, dang it. Why don't you run around and do things faster? Running around doesn't get things done faster. In my experience. Okay, that was a good jump. Come on, Morty, look at the beam. Can you find your bed? See, not low enough. Just can't do it. Getting up on a ladder, getting up on a post, that's made a difference in the past. There's all sorts of little things. Well, why don't you do them? Don't want to. It's not a problem yet. You've dropped and laid them 3 times. Well, I've done a lot more. We all play PAX DEI better than you. Okay. I've heard it all. Alright, we're just gonna deal with this baby as is. Can't go out, can't go in. Yeah, I want as much room out as possible. We're gonna go with short terms. End to eye. Morty, you getting bored of this yet? No, never. I get bored of it. Try to get this back again, because where it was before, see? This is off now. Well, if I don't have to rework anything, that's always a bonus. See? Remembering where things are on the dot itself, right on that post. Is this going to help me with the square? Well, I've been fighting to get this back, haven't I? I mean, I've been really straining to get this back. I am going to try it from a different position, too. You must. because you might be able to claim, you know, there it snaps in. You just might be able to claim an inch more, like I did before. What is 1,000th of an inch in PAX DEI? It could be a few inches. Ah, mid to short. There you go. No, we haven't avoided the void. In fact, we're basically going back where we were. What's the best way, Morty? You're gonna get wet anyway. Probably safer just to swim. I think if you walk down beams like this on your work site, see that nice little, you might not be able to see that. Now, once in a while, you get a neighbor through. They're building. You get people coming through and hunting. Is it a lot? No, not yet. Was it a lot before? Oh, I don't know. I can't honestly say there was a lot of people. No? So let's see if we can look up the plot issue better. Of course, you need to spare this area. Get it back into play. Interesting. Because when it comes down to it, I don't need like 3 plots across down here. I think that's what I ended up with. Oh, very interesting. Well, I'm going to not put down this plot. Let's set these where Lagerda can access them. Or, you know, not private anyway. We're going to act like they're going to stay here. But I am deciding exactly how I want to reduce my footprint. We'll see how PAX DEI moves forward. I mean, really, I could be here for 10 more years, the way it is. Really? There's nothing to do. Actually, there's a lot to do. There's a lot I haven't done. But they are things that others have done hundreds of times over. Well, dozens, maybe. Hundreds. It all depends. Alright, let's get to Lagerda. Morty. You got a plot left. She has 3. We'll balance them. Okay? That's the plan. We're gonna let it cool off. Last time it wouldn't log us out, but to the lobby. It wouldn't exit. We could not exit, but to the lobby. Don't do that. How did I change it? Oh, excuse me. Yes, having 7 accounts. No, I do not use the same password for each. Now, once I get all the plots, I'm just going to have Lagerda be the only holder. Once I cycle all the plots, because Morty had 4 plots from the full release. He just hadn't used them yet. Well, you have plenty of time. Time slips by. It slips by. At 11. You can do it. That little box in the corner. 3 days. Let's put the 21 day down first, shall we? I do need to spend some time making sure that I think I'm going to do it different. Because I don't need the area the void's hitting all the time. Of course I need to cover this area. Those trees are very important right there, right? Make sure I have the whole thing. But that's what I mean, do it totally different. Still got the shoreline. No, you don't need to connect with your neighbors. Nope, you don't need to grab the spot with the funky trees. And I'll see how it turns out. I will meander my way a bit more, but I do not think. Yeah, I'll make this like this. Because it's next to that. I don't want to exclude. Look. That's going to be a problem. I shouldn't have done that. We're just going to get rid of that. Yeah. We're going to get rid of that. It looks horrible from the outset. We're going to put you here. This will be the mistake. I'd rather make a mistake here. Because we can get the gazebo. It does give you a funky connection in a way, but I can't quite well see. We're going to have to get up in a hover and make sure. We snap it in over there. It's Alt forward scroll to increase speed, just in case that's hanging fire in anybody's mind. I think my whole problem came with wanting to connect to my neighbor. So, center. Well, center, center shore. Pivot. I should spell it right. Might not have. Probably not spelling Pignol. Wow. So that's the 21 day. I might as well burn these out. Although it really doesn't matter. Mortitwai has only one to put down. It's always just the same way. The back three will be different. I can let it chill. You know, maybe it's inconvenient, but I can let it chill out. I can say, no, don't renew. Sit there for 3 days. I can let it recycle. I can let the whole thing disappear. There are many options. You're going to let the whole thing disappear? Well, yeah. I mean, if it doesn't work out, just let it go. Look, I've missed the edge. Go to the other side. You. There you go. Ta-da! I'm so brilliant. No, I'm not. Now I am. No, I'm not. We want to get it over the shop. We want it to connect. I want to get this clearing right. Inside these trees. And then we have to do the back side of this. We lost the beehives the other day. It's a tragedy. Now there's something else I want to check before I just link in this other side. Yes, it's trees. Let's see how it works out down here. What kind of void I do get now that I've done this. Did it work out? That'd be incredible if it did. It looks like I have a little bit of a void. Oh, don't do that. Come on. No, still a void. I'd rather avoid it. See if I can connect. Get over there. And do something else. Have a whole strip. In Second Life, you paid per square meter. So people would go in and they reduce their square meters once you got up to a certain size. They're sets. But once you collect higher averages, you find out what tiers. There are tiers. And these tiers are important. Like once you get up to 800 and some odd square meters, your price goes down. But yes, your price goes down. You get more meters at that level. And some people, you know, they finesse things. And you go in and you drop a meter here and you drop a meter there and you get on with your life. It's just really that way. I don't want it all the way back here. There are only a few spots to the trees. I'm not into the snags. Everybody else can build around snags. I'm not into them. You know, there's places to have other structures, little openings here. If you want huge structures, this is definitely not the way for you. But if you don't mind individualized structures, you know, more personal environment, well, then you might agree with this. Before I had the shop and the shore separated, and I might be looking at that again. It's just I have these 3 short plots that I pulled up. Now, could I do something else with them? No, I could just let them go away. They're gone in 3 days. And I might do that. Morty has 1 more to put down. Right. So, Morty has 1 more to put down. I don't need this. What will I do with these 3? Let them go. Now, we're going to move. Yeah, we'll just go back to Morty. And we're going to exchange everything over. Yeah, these 3 plots. Nope. Alright, look at that. Oh, actually, we have to not do something silly here. Private. Fine. Now, she only has 1 plot down. Isn't it fun? I did keep these clean, didn't I? Right. Right. I could go swap these over there and give myself an extra day. That doesn't matter. Is it a waste? Well, I spent days offline. So it really isn't. Alright, let's get Morty. Right, Len? We'll let it do its thing. Now I'll tell you, I'm nearly at the end for a stream, heading toward 2 hours and getting over that. I don't know. It depends on YouTube usually. Uploads are taking an extreme amount of time since my channel reset, because Google knows who I am. Alphabet, they know who I am. So even when you start up anew, it's not like it's all new to them. This is not new to me. Yeah, I got to redo the intro so it's not copyright, and then I'll be using that. It'll be the same, but you can do it without triggering a copyright by doing it yourself. It's just the way it is. Always nice to get it right. No, I do. I'm glad I met God Ill. He's just a cool guy. 144 SPS. That's amazing. Nice. Save the shot, Marty. But right, narrowing down. Plus getting to the point where I can see grace plots. replacing paid for plots. That's a big deal too. I'll finish all my plots pretty much are going to be paid for because there's only so much grace that I have, and I'd rather build it up than use it more and more and more. Oh man, it would be fun just to say, oh, over here and over there, but then you actually have to do something with it, don't you? And I'm not going to say it's not the easiest thing in the world. I missed it. Other side, the barrel. Ha. Alright, let's try to get this whole place in. Might be able to. Might have to spend a little extra with that grace plot. This is going to be back there, this is going to be here. You can't even see it, you're going to lose your structure. That could happen. That could happen. But you have options. You have options, like I've said. Move things. I need to move them toward me just a bit, don't I? Not exactly necessary. It would be more convenient to be able to just conform a space a little. So wonderful. I enjoy it. Come on. Now if you see it move, it did. It moves back. Get a little bit more there. Don't need so much on the back. Right. What do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call this center? What do you call this place? A center. We'll change things there if necessary. One thing I have noticed quite well while we were moving around is how well textures, shadows, we are in Epic. Well, we must be. Epic, FSR4. Was it tessellation? Super resolution? Oh no, it's keep the desolate, it's something else. Go ahead, confirm. I don't think I have anything else to consider. A little walkabout, make sure I've laid this right. Make sure I haven't looked up anything else. Make sure I've set it to clan. We will close everybody out of your darn of their stuff. You can lock everybody out of their stuff. It is diabolical. 21 days. But the one from Lagerda. Well, actually, that one is the long one. So beautiful. Beautiful. Could I go somewhere else for 3 days with Lagerda? Yeah. And the thing is, if I went out and got resources with that plot, they'd be stuck in my redemption queue. And that could be a terrible pain in the butt. Did I catch everything over here? No. Hooking up with a neighbor, that'll be up to them, I guess, if they do more. But otherwise, that's it. It's still their place. Well, I didn't extend their front. Didn't give me any more room. Kind of a bummer. But I didn't have to pay for these trees either, which is just the way of it. I've been struggling with the void for many days. Now we don't have one. Does it still go out on the pier as far? A couple things will disappear out there. I think. A couple. But maybe not too much. Well, the connection with Isola's place is rather nice. And when I talked about having a walkway, what part of the bushes do you want to build it over? The tallest or the lower? No, I wasn't going to come all the way inland with it. That'd be funky. But I do want it along the water. That's where it would look good, and that's where it would, I think, well, it'd be the best place to put it. And so along the water, not in the bushes, and over the stones at all. And it would go, well, you know, if you're going to make these dang things, it's going to go, oh, come on, Morty, you wouldn't fall through that on a normal day. Have you been on a diet? You can try each beam. You'll catch it eventually. So right, you make a path over there, on through this, right over to Nooks, so to speak. Of course, the front entrance to Nooks is a bit different, so they'd have to decide how it went from there. Not my business. The business is saying, hey, you know, let's make a neighborhood. And maybe they'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. Or they'll go, psh, and there you go. Not my problem. Right, I've captured everything. Probably a bit better than before. It must be. There's no voids. Now, there. Now you've learned something, and so have I. Well, actually, I don't think I learned anything. I already knew from before I could do this. Ah, looky, looky. Is it? Maybe? No. No? Maybe. Maybe. Have to see it at night, or try to put something there. Most likely anything will have an anchor point if I put a lamp there. But the other place is done. Know your places do not need to connect. You know, that was never a thing. Having a continuous mass, not a problem. Alright. Already, our mission is done for this session. I've got to come get over to... Well, that's going to expire. But I need to get over to Celine. So back at 11 for Celine. Sundays I talk to my mom at 3, so I won't be on at 3. Wednesdays also. I'll start listing this stuff out as I get my routine better. And if I catch you, I catch you. If I don't, I don't. But you'll find that I've been here the whole time. Take it easy. I'm here for you. May the Lord bless you. And Lord bless you. Bless you if you know the difference. Keep your sticks on the ice. See you later today. As the Lord wills. Not me. Let's get out of here, Morty. We're going to stop streaming. Do it the old non-disturbing way. You should take a picture. There you go. That'll be the thumbnail. Alright, guys. Thanks for coming. Stop streaming.